Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. My name is BDF44. I'm coming to you today from work as usual, same setting as usual. I'm always here because I got to make a living. Nobody rich around this place yet. So I'm obviously still in the thick of things in terms of everything that's going on with the riots all over the country and the George Floyd fallout from his murder. And I'm, looking at people of African American descent and people of color. The majority of the people that I've seen on posts and Facebook, things like that, are basically saying, yo, this is a means to getting what we need to get. We tried everything else, there's nothing else to do. I believe I spoke on that in my previous video. Today I just kind of want to talk about a little more about that kind of my point of view on that. Any loss of property, loss of life, any of that comes from these riots, protests, you can charge the tab of white supremacy for that. And I know people say, well, we're responsible for our own actions, without a doubt. But this is equivalent to having someone murdered by an assassin, and then you going to try to exact revenge and taking out the assassin without even searching for the person who hired them. It's like being mad at the gun but not mad at the person holding it. No. White supremacy is in the catbird seat, as Shannon Sharpe says. They're in the driver's seat. They have the power and the influence to change some things so that people can kind of go back to their homes and be comfortable and not continue this fight. They can put an end to this at any time is what I'm trying to tell you. So the fact that they choose not to, or dare I say, are provoking this even further, means that anything that happens because of it, it's on them. I'm not going to condemn my brothers for reacting. I'm not going to condemn my sisters for reacting. I'm not going to condemn my allies for standing by us and reacting. Now, we know that there are people out rioting in the streets that have nothing to do with this cause, don't care about this cause. They're anarchists, people who want to see the world burn. They are not a part of this. We also know that there are people out there who have been put there by the enemy to make it look like we're doing more damage than we're doing, to do damage of their own, and we're catching them on camera as they do it. Very proud of our people for being able to catch that. And I'm very, very pleased that we're in a time where we can catch people doing stuff like that in real time, because we've always known they're doing it. They've done it, but we never could catch them. We're catching y'all. I ain't gonna be able to get away with those secret tactics no more. We're watching. But at this point, I'm saying, look, what else do you want us to do? I mean, we only have but so much buying power. We don't own anything. They've made sure that not only do we not have it, but that it's very difficult for us to even get close enough to it to get it. You're not going to get the property. You're not going to get the capital. So what do? I'm a logical thinking individual. I consider myself a pretty decent thinker. What you do is assess your behavior. Does it make sense? Yeah. What we're doing makes a lot of sense. Are we balanced in our thinking in terms of, if things aren't that bad, will we chill? Will we not continue this? Yeah. We want to be decent. We don't want to continue burning shit down. We want to get back to our lives. We want to get back to making money. We want to get back to our families. We want to get back to growing as human beings. We want to get back to whatever it is it means of whatever to us in our individual lives. We're not just anarchists. We're not just people out here looking to burn shit. There's reasons for this, very, very legitimate ones. The very same reasons we knelt for. The very same reasons Martin Luther King walked down the street hand in hand for. The very same reasons he died, Malcolm died, many, many others have died, and we're still dealing with the death of people like George Floyd right here and now. So whatever they did only worked but so much. Why? Because they weren't willing to take it all the way there, and the oppressor always was. The oppressor, not only in his ways, did all of the things that he did to you, but he also conditioned you. Quite genius, if I'm being honest. conditioned you to believe that you're wrong for doing it to him. He conditioned you to believe that you're supposed to be thankful for everything that you have, despite him taking so much of it for himself and leaving you with whatever he decides he wants you to have. He makes you think that you aren't beautiful, that you're not to be respected, that you are a savage, and that you're not capable of thinking clearly, and that you're not smart enough to acquire what he's gotten. No, it's not that you're not smart enough. It's that you're not ruthless enough to do what he did to acquire what he has. That's all. It doesn't mean you're not as smart as him. It doesn't mean you're beneath him. It just means that he's much more evil than you, and he's willing to take in places you're not, which is why this is necessary. This is why this is necessary. Under normal circumstances, under normal, peaceful circumstances, this is not the way you behave. This is not how you behave when a championship game is won, or when your horse won, or whatever it is that we celebrate and then riot behind. And I say we, understanding that I'm not talking about black people, I'm talking about us as Americans. We do this. Those are not good reasons to destroy your community. People dying in the streets and a lack of justice is a very good reason to destroy a community. People telling you that your peaceful efforts are laughing matter to them, and that your lives don't mean as much as their desire to stay happy. A happiness that it derives from your pain. Yeah, that's a damn good reason to burn everything to the ground. There are not many good reasons to destroy communities and property. This happens to be one of them. I know a lot of people will disagree with me. That's your right. But understand this. What you're asking me to do is lean back while understanding what's happening to me and be at peace for the sake of your peace of mind, while there's a good possibility that more people continue to die in the name of your peace of mind. And that is not reasonable. It's not reasonable. You are at peace because you thrive under circumstances that are not balanced for everyone. Even if I am able to maintain my life and be content with my life, there will be another George Lloyd. There will be another Philando Castile. There will be another Tatiana Jefferson. This must stop. It must come to an end. We cannot continue on this path where everybody's looking the other way while people are dying in the streets, being treated poorly, people being locked up for stuff that they don't deserve to be locked up for, while other people are being arrested for those same crimes and getting off scot-free. Police antagonizing our citizens simply because they look a certain way or don't have a certain thing or what have you, colors of skin, lack of money, differences in sexual preference and stuff like that. Just reasons why not just necessarily police officers, but just human beings in general continue to hate one another and destroy one another's property, etc., etc. It all stems from a culture that is complicit to that energy. A culture that is hypocritical in nature. It tells you that it's all inclusive while literally telling everyone to stay away or that they will be prosecuted a certain way for coming over there. It's a system that literally treats people poorly while asking them to stay complicit. I mean, if that is not a reason to tear it down and to build it back up, I don't know what is. And just because we've been putting up with a norm that isn't normal for over 400 years does not mean that we should go forward with the understanding that we have now in doing so. See, one of the reasons why we were complicit for 400 years is because they were able to separate us, keep information from us, and ultimately brainwash us into being complicit to the bullshit that they've been accustomed to thriving off of. This must stop. And they're not going to allow us to appeal to their sense of humanity. There is none. They're not going to allow us to guilt trip them into being better. They do mental acrobats with themselves to assure that they can look in the mirror and not think twice about how poorly they've treated you. It's something they've conditioned themselves to be able to do for 400 years. With different things such as sophistication and charity and all of this bullshit. There's a way for them to continue to treat you poorly while still sleeping just fine at night. They call you evil for wanting more from them. They call you evil for wanting more for yourself. And they don't think at all about the crimes that they committed to acquire what it is that you want. They give no apology for the maiming and the murder and the raping and all of the other stuff that they did to acquire the land that that you stand on. They apologize not for taking your land, bringing you here, making you work, killing you, and all the other horrible, vicious, awful shit that white supremacy is guilty of. They offer no sense of justice for you. They offer no sense of remorse for their actions. And if you were to dare try to take from them what they have fought to get, they would kill you. While you're sitting here telling me that I shouldn't do the same to receive what it is that they have, to receive what it is that they are keeping from you, which is rightfully mine. Because I come from slave blood, I come from Native American blood, and I come from them. This is my fucking land. Should I not think that? Should I hold myself to a standard of peace that they don't hold themselves to? So that they can continue to live in the way that they're living, and people like me can continue dying out here on these streets and continue being thrown in prisons while they make money off of that? I'm supposed to sit here and be chill with that? That's cool. That's fine. No problem. I guess it's okay because 1 or 2% of us can turn into millionaires and billionaires. We got a Jay-Z, we got a Kanye, so of course, everything's fine because we got a couple of those, right? That's what they tell us. You're thriving under this system. No, I'm not thriving. There's 2 or 3 of us who are able to crawl out of the system and make something of ourselves. A lot of those people have kissed your ass so much, so they made themselves someone that you could use as an asset, and that's why they're in the positions they're in. It's not like they got it honestly, in some cases. They were complicit to your system, which is why you allowed them to get what they have. They are a tool for you to use against us to keep us from doing what it is that I'm talking about right now. The fight comes before the peace. The fight comes first. Any empire ever built, any freedom that's ever been gained, the fight came first. They knew that, which is why they conditioned you to believe that the fight should never come. So I don't blame y'all for thinking the way you're thinking. You've been taught to think this way. But what I'm telling you is you need to wake the fuck up and understand that if you want what it is that they have, you better do what they did to get it. And if not, you're going to continue to get what they give you. A whole lot more mourning, a whole lot more sadness, and a whole lot more mistreatment and mocking your cries for freedom. This isn't hate speech. This is preservation speech. We're not talking about money. We're talking about living, breathing, having the right to just exist. They want to keep that from you. They want to keep it from me, and they want to keep it from your children. And don't think that just because you're not black, this is not your fight. Because remember, you are the ancestors of tomorrow's people. And tomorrow's people are a result of whatever it is that we're doing today. Whatever relationships that we have to get today are going to determine who comes tomorrow. And we're fighting for them, so that the world that they're in is a lot better than the one that we find ourselves in today. I wish someone would have fought for us that way. Many people fought, but they weren't ready to take it all away. And that's why we find ourselves in the position we're in today. Take it all away. PDF.